What do a Grammy-winning super producer, one of the most unconventional rappers in the music industry, and a woman who captured both of their hearts have in common? A friendship so deep, so loyal, and so genuinely real that it became the foundation of one of the most talked about love stories in entertainment today. Benny Blanco, Lil Dicky, and Kristin, three names that belong together in a story most people only know the surface of. Today we are going all the way in. How they met, how their worlds collided, the friendship that holds it all together, and the wedding secrets that have been carefully protected. Until now. Stay with me. This is the full story. When you think about the most unexpected friendships and love stories in Hollywood, the connection between Benny Blanco and Lil Dicky sits near the very top of the list. Two men from completely different worlds. One, a quiet, kitchen-obsessed super producer from Virginia who has shaped the sound of modern pop music. The other, a comedy rapper turned acclaimed television creator from Pennsylvania who turned his own life into must-watch television. And at the center of their story, woven into the friendship, the creative work, and the personal lives, is Kristin, a woman whose presence in this circle brought warmth, grounding, and a love story worth telling. Let's start from the very beginning. Benjamin Joseph Levin, known to the world as Benny Blanco, was born on March 8, 1988 in Reston, Virginia. From the time he was a teenager, music was not just a passion, it was an obsession. Not the performance side, not the spotlight, the creation, the science of building a song from nothing into something that moves millions of people. He got his start working alongside legendary producer Disco Reed as a teenager and learned the craft at a level most people spend entire careers trying to reach. By his early 20s, Benny Blanco was already one of the most in-demand producers in the music industry. The catalog he built is almost impossible to believe. He co-wrote and produced Katy Perry's Teenage Dream. He produced Maroon 5's Moves Like Jagger. He worked with Rihanna, Ed Sheeran, Justin Bieber, Halsey, The Weeknd, Sia, Kendrick Lamar, and dozens more. He co-wrote Ed Sheeran's global hit East Side. He has accumulated Grammy Awards, Billboard records, and an industry reputation that places him among the greatest producers of his generation. But here is what separates Benny Blanco from every other super producer at his level: his personality, his complete, total, almost aggressive refusal to take himself seriously. He posts videos of himself cooking wildly chaotic meals. He laughs at himself constantly and publicly. He is famously warm, generous, and loyal to the people he loves. He is, by every account from everyone in his circle, exactly the same person in a private kitchen as he is on a red carpet. In an industry full of carefully managed images and calculated personas, Benny Blanco's greatest professional asset has always been his most personal one. He is completely, undeniably, and irreversibly himself. David Byrd, known professionally as Lil Dicky, was born on March 15, 1988, in Cheltenham Township, Pennsylvania. He grew up in a Jewish family in the suburbs, attended the University of Richmond, and by all conventional measures was on track for a completely normal professional life. He worked in advertising after college. He was good at it. And then, almost on a dare to himself, he started making rap music. Not because he was a trained rapper, not because he had industry connections, but because he had something that turned out to be far more powerful than either of those things. He had a completely original voice, a razor-sharp comedic mind, and the courage to be absolutely ridiculous in public. His breakout moment came when his song Save Dat Money went viral. The concept, making an entire music video without spending any money, was so genuinely funny and creative that the internet immediately understood what Lil Dicky was. He was not a rapper pretending to be something he was not. He was a comedian who happened to rap, and the honesty of that was magnetic. But the chapter of Lil Dicky's career that truly defined him came with the FX series Dave, a semi-autobiographical comedy in which he plays a fictionalized version of himself, convinced he is destined for rap greatness despite all evidence to the contrary. The show became a critical sensation, praised for its humor, its surprising emotional depth, its honest exploration of friendship, mental health, ambition, and identity. Dave ran for multiple seasons and established Lil Dicky not just as a comedian or a rapper, but as a genuine storyteller, a writer and creator with a distinctive voice and a real understanding of what makes human beings complicated and beautiful and funny. And woven throughout that show, in front of the camera and behind it, was his real friendship with Benny Blanco. The friendship between Benny Blanco and Lil Dicky is one of the most genuine creative partnerships in modern entertainment. And like most great friendships, it was built on something very simple: two people who immediately recognized in each other the same core qualities. They are both obsessively creative, both deeply loyal, both constitutionally incapable of pretending to be something they are not, both funnier than almost anyone else in any room they walk into, and both, beneath the humor and the success, genuinely warm human beings who care about the people around them. Benny appeared in the show Dave, playing himself, which required absolutely no acting whatsoever, and his appearances became some of the most beloved moments in the series. Fans responded to the on-screen chemistry between Benny and Dave because it was not chemistry manufactured for television. It was the real thing captured on camera. Off-screen, their friendship operates the way the best friendships always do. They show up for each other. They are honest with each other in ways that only deeply trusted friends can be. They make each other laugh. They cook together. Benny's legendary kitchen sessions are a regular feature of his friendships with everyone close to him. And it was within this friendship, within this warm, creative, loyal circle that Benny and Lil Dicky built together, that Kristin entered the picture. Every great story has a character who grounds it, who provides the warmth and the realness that holds everything else together. In this story, that person is Kristin. Kristin Dute is an actress, author, and television personality best known for her years on the Bravo reality series Vanderpump Rules, the long-running show set in the world of Lisa Vanderpump's Los Angeles restaurants that became one of the most watched and most discussed reality programs of its era. Over years on television, Kristin was one of the most compelling figures on the show. Complicated, passionate, deeply human, and always bracingly honest about her own flaws and struggles. She was not the character the audience always agreed with, but she was always the one they could not look away from. Beyond the television fame, Kristin is a woman who has done significant personal work. She has been open about her journey, the relationships that did not work, the personal growth that came from honest self-reflection, the clarity that arrives when you stop performing for other people and start living for yourself. She wrote a book. She built a life outside of the television world that made her famous. She became someone defined not by a show, but by who she actually is. And who she actually is turned out to be exactly the right person for the right moment in this story. The connection between Kristin Dute and Lil Dicky began the way many modern love stories do, through overlapping social circles, shared spaces, and the gradual deepening of something that starts as casual familiarity and grows into something neither person was expecting. Both moved in Los Angeles circles where entertainment, music, comedy, and reality television intersect in ways that are genuinely organic. The city, for all its size, has a surprisingly intimate core, a group of people who genuinely know each other, who show up at the same gatherings, who become real parts of each other's lives. What made their connection notable from the beginning was the contrast that turned out not to be a contrast at all. Lil Dicky, the suburban kid from Pennsylvania who became a rap star through sheer comedic force of will. Kristin Dute, the reality television personality who became one of the most recognized faces on Bravo. On paper, an unlikely pairing. In reality, two people who shared the most important things: honesty, humor, a willingness to be completely real about who they are and what they have been through, a hard-earned understanding that the best relationships are the ones where you do not have to perform. Their relationship developed with a warmth and a groundedness that people who know them describe as completely natural. No drama, no games, just two people who genuinely liked each other, made each other laugh, and decided to see where it went. To understand Kristin and Lil Dicky's relationship fully, you have to understand the role Benny Blanco plays in both their lives. Because Benny is not just a friend in this story, he is the gravitational center of the circle. People who know Benny Blanco consistently describe him the same way. He is the person who makes everyone feel at home, the one who literally feeds people. His legendary cooking sessions are not just a social media bit, they are a genuine expression of who he is. He nurtures people with food, with laughter, with his complete and undivided presence. For Lil Dicky, Benny has been one of the most consistent and important friendships of his adult life. A person who knew him before the fame reached its current level and who has remained exactly the same throughout every stage of it. For Kristin, entering this circle meant entering something warm and real and already deeply established. And the fact that she fit immediately, that Benny embraced her, that the circle opened for her naturally, said everything about whether she was the right person. In the best friend groups, the existing friendships serve as a kind of quality filter. When someone new enters and the people who already love you also immediately love them, that is not coincidence. That is character recognition. Benny Blanco recognized in Kristin what Lil Dicky had already found, and his endorsement, in a friendship as genuine as theirs, meant everything. Now let's talk about what everyone has been waiting for, the wedding details. Because since the relationship between Lil Dicky and Kristin became public knowledge, fans have been desperate for information about what comes next. What is clear from everything both of them have expressed publicly and privately is that when this chapter arrives, it will be done entirely on their own terms. Neither Lil Dicky nor Kristin is drawn to the kind of spectacle that Hollywood weddings often become. Both of them have lived enough of their lives in public to deeply value the moments that belong only to them. Sources close to the couple indicate that the vision for any future celebration is intimate and personal. The people in the room will be the people who were actually there for the relationship. The real friends, the real family, the ones who showed up in the ordinary moments, not just the milestone ones. Benny Blanco will unquestionably be at the center of any celebration. The idea of a major life event in Lil Dicky's world without Benny Blanco present is simply not something anyone in their circle can imagine. What makes this potential wedding story particularly compelling is what it represents. Both Lil Dicky and Kristin have been through enough, professionally, personally, emotionally, to understand exactly what they are building together. This is not young love stumbling forward hopefully. This is two fully formed adults who chose each other with complete awareness. That kind of intentionality produces a different quality of celebration. When you know what you have and you know what it took to find it, you do not take a single moment of it for granted. Step back and look at the full picture. Benny Blanco, Lil Dicky, Kristin, and what you see is something genuinely rare in modern entertainment. A group of people who became famous through completely different paths, who built careers on the foundation of being exactly who they are, and who found in each other a friendship and a love that asks for nothing other than that same authenticity. Benny Blanco built an empire in music by being the most real person in every room. Lil Dicky built a career in comedy and television by turning his own genuine experiences and insecurities into art. Kristin built a life after reality television by doing the hard work of understanding herself honestly. What connects all three of them is not the industry. It is not the fame. It is the commitment to realness. And in a world that constantly rewards performance and punishes vulnerability, that commitment is worth celebrating. The friendships and love stories within this circle did not happen because of status or strategy. They happened because real people, being genuinely themselves, found each other and recognized something worth holding on to. The story of Benny Blanco, Lil Dicky, and Kristin is ultimately a story about what happens when people stop performing and start living. It is a story about a friendship between two men who found in each other the rarest thing the entertainment industry ever produces, someone who knows you completely and loves you anyway. It is a story about a woman who did the personal work, built the self-awareness, and became exactly the right person at exactly the right time. And it is a story about the circle that holds it all together. The kitchen dinners and the late-night conversations and the loyalty that shows up not just for the celebrations, but for the ordinary Tuesday evenings when nobody is watching. The wedding secrets may still be protected. The details may still be carefully kept within the circle of people who earned the right to know them. But the love story itself, the real one, the one built on friendship and honesty and the courage to be completely yourself, that story has never been more visible. And it is one worth celebrating. Thank you for watching. Share this with someone who believes that the best love stories are built on friendship first. And leave a comment. What part of this story resonated most with you? I will see you in the next one.